Alrighty, everybody. Today we're going to be doing StarCraft 2 instead of StarCraft Brood War. So, as a part of StarCraft Underground, we play both StarCraft Brood War and StarCraft 2. So, if you're not a part of it and you'd like to join a casual league where a lot of cool people and really flexible, play times, every match only takes about a week to complete, or there is a week to complete every given match in a bracket, then it's a great thing for you. A lot of people that work or have kids and stuff need to play late at night, or you know playing against different time zones can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. But anyway, just to introduce our players, this is the first StarCraft 2 bracket that we have. We've got Havi, which is the Zerg down here in the bottom left, and we've got Mayne up here in the top right. This is their first round of the first StarCraft tournament that we hosted with StarCraft Underground. And yeah, just kicking it off. Not entirely sure what's going to happen here. It does look like, the Zerg player is expanding, getting an early gas, throwing down spawning pool. Nothing too crazy going on. Mayne doing what every Zerg absolutely loves to have happen to them, which is play with their minerals. Everyone seems to love that. And over here on the Protoss side, really nothing terribly crazy, just a gateway going down at the natural. A couple workers on gas as we're getting into it. Now, what I'm not sure is, I don't know if the volume is really coming through. Okay, it does sound like it's coming through. But yeah, I think I have music off. I might change that for later casts. So we do have Mayne up here getting his expansion and also putting their cybernetics core down. So pretty standard opening for both. We do have Zergling speed being researched right off the rip with looks like 6 Zerglings and a Queen getting thrown down as well. Probe is hanging out here, but I don't think it's going to do any type of proxying. It's just going to keep an eye out for any type of early movement, any type of flood of Zerglings, anything, just keeping tabs on the Zerg opponent. These Zerglings are going to probably just clean this probe, send it on its merry way. 6 more in production. Looks like 8, 10 on the field right now. And it does look like they're going to be coming across. Now, as far as army, right, we do have actually 12 supply army for Havi and only 2 for our Protoss hero up here. Now, he's going to be getting an Adept out, likely thinking he's going to get some worker harass, but it does look like a decent amount of Zerglings are coming. Now, I'm curious if this probe can get up there in time. Maybe throw down a pylon or something to wall off. Decides not to wall off. And these Zerglings might make something happen. They do opt to go for this pylon, and the pylon will go down. There's another pylon there, but there is a gap. Good spot for the Adept. A little bit of a surprise, it looks like. It looks like Havi is getting a little bit of the jump here early on in this game. Adept shades away. Zerglings out looking for it. And yeah, so brief periods of time of this being unpowered. 3 probes going down. It does seem like Havi is targeting the pylons. And Mayne's doing a really good job of getting the pylons back up. This Oracle is going to help too. Once this Oracle gets out, it is being chrono boosted. That's going to be able to really give the support to this Adept and clean it up. And we do have Havi just sending more and more Lings across the map. But I don't... Ooh, this is looking pretty bad for Mayne. This Nexus looks like it's going to be going down. And it does, but here comes that Oracle, and we got the Adept. The Adept is surrounded, but the Oracle does have a good amount of energy, and it's going to be burning these Lings up. Now, Havi has opted to start going for the workers now. But Mayne hasn't given up. Mayne still has the Cybernetics core and cleans all those Zerglings out of his base. Now, the Cybernetics core is going down. I think Mayne predicted that, though, building a second one already in the main. And these Oracles are just going to shut this down. They kill these so fast. More Zerglings coming in, but just so cost efficient. This Oracle already has 32 kills. That's absurd. And a second Oracle coming into play, and a third one behind that. Okay, Havi has definitely gotten a very strong start, but if you look at like the actual damage done, there's 21 workers for both sides as 2 more gateways go down for Mayne. And I imagine Mayne, still pretty saturated here at this base, is likely going to throw down another expansion here pretty quickly. Now, Javi is taking the opportunity to get his third and throwing down a couple spore crawlers to protect against any counter that the oracles may present, which it does look like they're about on their way here. Now, Mayne does have another one in production as well, and the spore and the queens are going to shoo these away, but getting a couple drones on the transfer, not bad. 4 drones is going to help a little bit. And so I actually think this balanced out pretty well, but I think if Mayne can get back up and running and try to come down here and get this third base, that would really solidify the position. But overall, once this is reset, I think Mayne's just a little bit behind, but not a lot. And I think that Mayne will be able to catch up pretty quick. But we do see Havi taking this opportunity to really drone up, shooting up to 35 drones to the 25 probes that Mayne has. A lot of oracles on the field, though. 4 oracles on the field, definitely well guarded against any type of additional Ling shenanigans. Twilight Council and Forge going down for Mayne. We have a Roach Warren Evolution Chamber going down for Havi. And just more drones, just droning up, looking to saturate this third base. And so these oracles are going to come over, and they're going to see that the third base is up, pretty undefended. The queen will pop out here in a minute, but not a whole lot of drones there at the moment. And the one that is there getting taken out. Ooh, going to be able to catch these on the transfer. That's going to knock 4 down at least. And I imagine with 4 of these, or I guess 3, maybe he left one back, he might be able to snipe that queen. Opts to play conservatively, keeping them all alive. A little bit of hull damage on a couple of them. And just going to send them home. All right, so Protoss sitting pretty, I think. I think that Mayne has stabilized. Havi with just a slight income advantage, but nothing terribly crazy. Getting the extractors up and going. Am I crazy? Is there only 1 gas on this side for this? Oh, there it is. It was like hidden in the buildings. I'm sitting here, I'm like, is there really only 1 assimilator? That was a trip. Okay, anyway. So still sharking around with these oracles, being a real pain in the butt for Havi. And keeping that drone count at an equal level to the probes for Mayne. Mayne's doing a really good job here of just keeping an eye on any 4th base expansions that may be going down. Right now, really not much of a huge military force for either player, as they're just trying to macro up. And now we do have Mayne securing their 3rd and getting blink and weapons on the way. So Hydralisks have made their entrance. Combined with the queen's going to shoo away these oracles for the time being. But a couple do go down. But 8 more on the way. +1 missile being upgraded. And now Mayne has been able to secure themselves an army. Got a great amount of blink stalkers. These 4 oracles, so powerful. And we'll have to see if Havi can defend with these hydras. And the +1 missile is going to be coming up online here in just a second. We also have Zealot legs and +2 melee coming up for the Protoss player. Good engagement, good defense there from Havi. I don't think Mayne expected there to be that many Hydralisks. Because he poked in with those oracles earlier, killed a few of them, and there didn't seem to really be anything left, right? Like the queens kind of did the final shooing away. But now we're starting to see, you know, gateway explosion coming from Mayne. Mayne is about to become very scary, I think. Storm being researched, High Templar on the field. And Havi mixing in a good mix of roaches with these Hydralisks. Oracles are going to come in, poke around, doing a little bit of a scout over here. Maybe try to get behind some worker lines. Ooh, and this can be pretty devastating, I think. Yeah, 3 going down in the blink of an eye. Not sure if he saw the Baneling nest. Both players just powering up. Likely to see a 4th come up here. Yep. So Mayne's going to be expanding to their 4th, kind of the triangle 3rd location. And he is going to deny the Zerg's 4th. So this is actually, I think, kind of a tipping point in favor of the Protoss. If they can deny this and then come back and continue to deny it. Ooh, doesn't get denied. Is saved by Havi. Good save there. Havi definitely wants this base to go up, especially with the Protoss securing their 4th. Double Robo facility going down. Archon's being morphed. This looks really scary. Especially since Storm is online. We've got Blink. We've got the Oracles. But this is a pretty hefty chunk of Hydralisks and Roaches too. So we're just going to have to see how they're positioned when these storms start landing everywhere. Now these zealots were coming over here to deny a potential 4th base, but they are going to be running in here for a run by as the main army hits from the right. Guarantee it. Okay, opting to hit at the same time. It does look like the run by was noticed first by Havi. He splits his army. Does clean up the zealots very quickly in these storms. Okay, so we got the storms going down. Did a little bit of damage, but not catastrophic. That was a... Oh my gosh, those are some serious... Jeez, just a trail of storms. That is so much damage. That was a ton of damage. Very weakened, very damaged army here for Havi. But Havi continues to be powering up. I don't think many workers were lost. So I think Havi actually, with the situation that was being presented to him with that Zealot run by and that main force coming in on the right, I think he did a really good job there on protecting on his workers and his bases. Nothing really being denied. I didn't even see like a ton of units go down for Havi. Just a lot that were really beat up. So good defense, and is currently leading in army supply between the two players. Okay, so Javi's got some Ravagers on the field. Snooping and pooping around here, sharking around. Going to be checking this base, seeing if there's anything there. Notices that there's not, is going to move up towards the triangle 3rd. Now, this choke is a great spot for storms, and the already weakened army does begin to melt a little bit. Disruptor shots just barely missing those Immortals. The mix of the Immortals really doing a lot to fend off these Ravagers, and Javi's going to have to go back. Down 20 supply now. We do see the Oracles returning to the battlefield, trying to poke in, get some vision. And right now we see a lot more Hydras coming into play. So here's another event. I think this one actually is going to go down as opposed to the 4th base we saw previously. Yeah, so Havi got a good cancel. Is maneuvering to try to catch this main force. And again, just like the last attack, Zealot run by coming through. Now we do already see drones dropping at this point. And right now Javi's attacking these rocks. Havi needs to defend one or both of these attacks. This looks really scary for Havi. Now this hatchery was already beat up from before. It finally goes down, and right now the Zealots are doing work. 21 drones have been erased from the field. Good use of that one Hydralisk to disarm that stasis trap. Oh, but there's a couple more. Oh my goodness, and that captures the bulk of the Ravagers here on the field. And these Zealots end up killing that hatchery. Oh my gosh, I missed it. These Zealots paying dividends for Mayne right now. Okay, Hydralisks and the Ravagers are going to be able to knock this out, no problem. And now Havi is definitely on the back foot. He's had 3 bases essentially denied. The one here, this one destroyed, and this one destroyed. That is going to put him back drastically. I think the Mayne is almost mined out. Natural getting pretty low. And this army from Mayne is just getting super, super scary. Okay. Great jobs by both players. Loving that Mayne's not overcommitting here. And Javi's doing a great job of spreading his units out for the engagement. These Banelings coming in, doing a good amount of damage. And right now, with these Immortals are doing so much for the Protoss army. Disruptor shots coming in. Oh, and Havi has to throw in the towel. That was a fantastic game. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's go into the next game. This is a best of 3. And let's see if I can work this. Nope, wrong one. Okay, so Mayne is up 1-0 to Havi in this best of 3. Right now, the second map in this bracket is Torches. We do see our Protoss here in the bottom right, and we have Havi, our Zerg champion, up here in the top right. We have Pylon going down here at the natural and a very early scout coming from the probe. He did this last time as well, kind of that same thing, you know, probe near a wall-off location, or I'm sorry, Pylon near a wall-off location, and then probe just going straight over, and he's probably going to start screwing around with these minerals a little bit and just get a good scout. And we'll see if he does the whole same thing, right? Like come over here to the natural and patrol his probe back and forth. Now this map is one of those weird maps where you're on the same side, right? So the expansion paths are really usually interesting, and also these gold blocked off kind of like triangle third locations also make for some really interesting gameplay. So hatchery first coming down for Havi. Does opt to get his gas pretty early. I think. I don't know Zerg builds, but that seems pretty early. No spawning pool as of yet. This drone's just going to chase around this probe, kind of as a scout. Gateway Forge this time, as opposed to the Cybernetics Core. And we do have the spawning pool going down for Havi. Ooh, okay, we've got a pylon going up here at the natural pace for Mayne. I'm not sure if Havi can see this. I don't think he can see it as of yet. No, we would definitely be seeing a reaction. Mayne, I think, thinking about mining this. Oh, no, he's keeping an eye on it to see if it's getting countermined. Oh, we've got a cannon rush. This doesn't look like a full commit cannon rush, though. This is like purely a natural denial. And I don't think we're going to see like a Starpoint and Void Rays or anything weird like that. But that is going to be wildly a pain in the butt. Okay, so that explains why he went the Forge first there. We're seeing a very similar thing from Havi as last time, you know, like a bunch of lings early on, getting that ling speed. And now the cannons are noticed. Now the cannons are doing work, and they're already up and built. Probe is being a pain in the butt, just poking around. And already picks off a ling. Okay, so Havi has a choice here. Does he start throwing things over here, or does he go to the other side? And it looks like he's going to opt to start charging to the other side. Now, the probe does leave here, so this is about what Mayne wanted to commit to, it appears. And Javi's going to continue with his build and get a third hatchery behind this. Now let's see what these Zerglings can do here. Now we get a full wall off that includes a cannon. Cybernetics Core going down. And the only army really on the field right now is the one Zealot that's being produced here at this gateway from Mayne. So does bring over a few probes to help assist. Probably keep throwing down some buildings. Shield battery is going to help a ton here. But this is a lot of lings, so he needs to keep this walled off. He shoves those probes in there, perfect. The Zealot not quite in a position, but the gateway goes down. The gateway goes down. These lings are everywhere, but they're all banged up. Opting to fight this cannon. And on the other side of the map, these cannons have taken out the hatchery at the natural. So he's reset Havi back to his main in this third base that's going to be popping up. And all of Javi's army, all of his lings are over here fighting this zealot with the shield battery, getting so much done. Oh my gosh. Mayne's going to hold this. He's going to hold this counterattack. Holy cow. Okay, well done. And we have a gajillion lings coming out. Okay, so Javi opting to continue the pressure. Not fighting this. Not trying to retake the natural. But coming down here thinking he's very close to breaking this. And if he can just get through and maybe get on the economy, he knows so much resources have been spent on these cannons. Okay, so he's going straight up into the Mayne. How many probes is he going to be able to knock out? Okay, good reaction by Mayne. The probes are running away. Running down here to the cannons that are up. Another cannon going down for Mayne. Oh, man, and these... Okay, so we've got 4 probes down. Wow, great mine drill right there. And these probes are just... They're repelling these Zerglings. A couple Zerglings up here taking pot shots at the Nexus, but five probes go down. Okay, so Javi's realized he needs to attack with more force. But this position is only getting more fortified. Completely walled off. We've got Stargate and a gateway going down for Mayne, and Javi's going to have to pull back a little bit. Okay. This pylon here as well, providing vision for this. Because this could be, you know, a flanking opportunity. Mine this out and come in from the back, away from this whole fortification. But Mayne has thought about that, it appears. And his cannons are still up there, denying this natural. Still no natural for Havi. Very scrappy game. Okay. Things have kind of quieted down a little bit, but we do see Banelings. We've got 5 Banelings, 7 Banelings morphing. 8 Banelings morphing. 9 Banelings morphing. I feel like the count. 1 Baneling, 2 Baneling. And he's going to be coming in, and he's just going to wreck these pylons. But this is kind of a cool construction as well, because this kind of also provides a wall, and it's going to force the Zerglings around back into the range of these weirdly kind of placed cannons that, you know, ended up where they were based on necessity. Okay, so let's see what the Banelings can do. Boom, right through that pylon. Opting to go for the Stargate. Is able to kind of wrap it around, surround it. I think the Stargate is going to go down. The shield battery is trying to do what it can, but there's still like no army for Mayne, right? He's got that 1 Zealot, and he had the Oracle. That was his entire army supply, and that Zealot's about to go down. The Zealot goes down. Okay, the Zerglings over here opting not to file in. Okay, he's making a ton more Banelings, and this Baneling here keeping the bulk of the probes away, getting a lot of lost mining time for our Protest player. But he's all in. Our Zerg player, he is not saturating this space. He's not droning. Currently sitting at 16 drones to the 36 probes of Mayne. And neither of them are really mining right now. I think Mayne's probably mining more just at that main base. Mayne's main base. Yeah, Mayne's main. The mainest of the main bases. Alright, Baneling's coming in. No opportunity to cancel that in progress building. Great shield wall right there, or whatever the heck it's called. Force field. And only a couple Zerglings get by. You know, the Zerglings just aren't going to cut it. And I think Javi's come to that same conclusion. We have a, you know, Roach Warren going down. He's going to start transitioning. It does look like he's starting to drone up. Okay, so he's like, hey, I need some more money. He's got quite a fortification here, and he's only, you know, these engagements are only being more and more favorable for Mayne. And Havi, you know, his tournament life, or at least in the winner's bracket, is on the line here in this match. So he needs to get this win. I can't believe these cannons and pylon are still here, by the way. I can't believe it. I feel like that is such a like a, you know, a pain in his side. Robo facility going down. Mayne's position, I think, is very strong right now. Very, very strong. We do have some roaches getting on the field. A whole bunch of them, actually. 7 being morphed right now. 8. But he needs more cash. Needs more drones. Sitting at 31 drones right now. I see something blue over here. Okay, so he's got an hallucination. And he is going to see that there's another base over here. Mayne has to realize, he thinks to himself, there's no way he's only still on one base. And he hasn't been for a long time. But only just recently has there been workers over here. So Mayne's probably feeling a little bit blind, but he also knows that there's been a huge amount of units thrown against his cannons. Okay, gateway's going down. Mayne trying to get his production up. I love this setup too, just buildings everywhere, like every single gap. Oh, he throws down a couple more shield batteries. Okay, so he's thinking, here comes a heavy hit. We got Ravagers coming out here, trying to hit this pylon. That's not going to do a whole lot, but we'll see what he opts to do. I think if he had hit all of his shots into this or the Forge, that is going to deny Ground Weapons 1, which is really nice. We got a bunch of upgrades coming in for our protest player. Oh, and these force fields. He's going to section off this part of the army. And this Immortal here with these shield batteries. There's just nothing that's going to be coming through here. This army is way too small with what is sitting in the way. Bile's coming down on this gateway. Don't think it's going to get a whole lot. It does try to hit the army, but forces the Protoss player back. And just more Zerglings rallying. This is good, though. Javi's able to keep an eye on what's going on here. He does lose that Overlord. Loses a Ravager. But he knows his whole army is stuck right here. And so what decisions does he have? Okay, so he's powering through, right? He's just being that unstoppable force against this immovable object right here. But this feels like a lot. We got shields level 1 completed. Ground weapons have been restarted. Ooh, and Mayne's mining out these minerals. That's going to give him another mobility corridor out of his base, and potentially even another base if he decides to secure this one. And right now, you know, Javi's got a pretty good contain. And he is taking advantage of it. Okay, good. He's getting that third base up. These things still here. Still chilling. That would have maybe been a cool spot for like an initial bile. Like morph out the Ravagers, maybe pop these or something, and then march them across while it's recharging. Okay, so Mayne does end up taking a third base here at the triangle third. And that Overlord that was over here is now chilling back here. Okay, big push coming in. Doesn't look like they're on a move. It looks like, okay, so he got them up first before they can get force fielded so they can get some more impact. Now, both armies losing a lot. Everything that had made it up has been cleaned by the Protoss player. Force fields have been expended. No more of those coming. The Sentry is out of energy for the time being. Oh, but Javi throws in the towel. He throws in the towel. That was a cool game. Cool series. Mayne is going to end up taking it 2-0. And yeah, so that's one of the first rounds. Mayne is going to continue on in the winner's bracket. Javi's going to go down to the loser's bracket. But both players, very skilled. I expect that they're both going to make a good run of this bracket. If you want to join StarCraft Underground, the link to the Discord will be in the description. Thanks for watching. Bye.